Stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Every second you hesitate, opportunity slips through your fingers. Clarity doesn't come from more information, it comes from decisive action. Momentum isn't built by planning, it's built by doing. Today you will learn how to cut through confusion, sharpen your focus, and take bold, confident steps that produce results. You have a choice: stay stuck in indecision or transform your mind and your life. It starts now. Think clearly. Act decisively. Chapter 1: Action beats hesitation. Procrastination. It's not laziness. It's mental chaos disguised as thinking. You tell yourself, "I'll do it later, I need more time, I'm not ready." But that is a lie. That delay is the silent thief of your results. Every moment you wait is a moment your future passes by. Every second you hesitate, someone else is acting, someone else is winning. And you're standing still. You have a choice. You can continue overthinking. You can continue waiting. Or you can take action right now. That's the key. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. Say it aloud if you need to. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. Procrastination is seductive because it feels like planning. You're not planning. You're stalling. You're letting fear pretend it's caution. You're letting excuses pretend they are strategy. That's the trap. You think delaying will make things easier. But it never does. Delay only compounds confusion. Delay only multiplies regret. Delay only makes success harder. Look at the people who get results. Not the lucky ones. Not the talented ones. The ones who move first. The ones who do what others refuse to do. That's the difference. Movement breeds clarity. Execution creates momentum. Action produces answers. Waiting produces nothing. Nothing. Let's break it down. You don't need to overhaul your life in one day. You don't need perfect circumstances. You don't need their approval. You don't need permission from anyone. You only need one small, decisive step. Just one action toward your goal. That's enough to break the paralysis. That's enough to start the chain reaction. That's enough to prove to yourself you are capable. You have a choice. You can stay frozen in indecision or you can act now. That's the key. Consider Elon Musk. He didn't wait for perfect timing. He didn't wait for every plan to be foolproof. He executed. Small steps. Daily decisions. Micro actions that compounded into massive results. Tesla, SpaceX, PayPal, they didn't materialize overnight. They were built by relentless action, step by step, decision by decision. That's the lesson. Momentum matters more than perfect strategy. Momentum is your ally. Hesitation is your enemy. Here's a practical approach. The 5-minute rule. If a task intimidates you, commit to just 5 minutes. That's it. Just 5 minutes of action. Start typing that email. Start that workout. Start that project. 5 minutes often becomes 20. 20 minutes becomes an hour. And before you know it, the work is done. Momentum builds. Confidence grows. Action becomes habit. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. Repeat it. Remind yourself daily. Write it on a sticky note if you have to. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. Let's talk about your inner dialogue. The voice that says, "I'm not ready," or "I'll start tomorrow." That's fear speaking. Fear is trying to protect you from growth. It's trying to keep you safe in your comfort zone. But comfort is the enemy of results. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort is the enemy of you achieving your potential. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need permission. You don't need certainty. You need action. That's the key. Micro actions are powerful because they are simple and repeatable. Write one paragraph. Make one call. Send one email. Take one small step that moves you closer to your goal. Then repeat. Small actions may seem insignificant at first. They feel tiny. But repeated consistently, they create unstoppable momentum. That's the principle the top 1% use in business, in health, in life. Momentum beats inspiration. Execution beats motivation. Every single time. You might think, "I'll do it perfectly or I won't do it at all." That's a trap. Perfection is a procrastinator's excuse. Execution beats perfection. Every single time. Done beats perfect. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need validation. You only need results. Start small. Start now. Repeat. That's the formula. Let's reinforce it one more time. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. You can memorize that, tattoo it on your mind. Every decision, every step, every movement must reflect that mantra. Because when you act decisively, momentum builds. When momentum builds, clarity arrives. When clarity arrives, results are inevitable. Hesitation destroys momentum. Hesitation destroys clarity. Hesitation destroys results. You have a choice. You can continue hesitating or you can act now. That's the key. Now here's a behavioral instruction. Open a blank page or your to-do app. Write down one action you've been avoiding. One thing you've been procrastinating on. Commit to doing it today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. One action. Do it now. Feel the shift in your energy. That's the moment momentum starts. That's the moment clarity begins. That's the moment you stop being a victim of indecision. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a reality check. Procrastination is the silent killer of potential. It hides in your daily routines. It hides in your excuses. It hides in your comfort. It whispers, "You'll do it later." But later rarely comes. Later rarely exists. Later is an illusion. Only now is real. Only now can you act. Only now can you start building your results. You have a choice. You have the power. That's the key. Let's end this chapter with one last repetition. Say it in your mind, say it out loud. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. Action beats hesitation. Every single time. Commit to that principle. Live by it. Breathe it. Execute by it. Stop thinking about it. Stop planning for it. Start doing it. Now, you've understood the trap. You've seen the power of small actions. You've felt the shift of momentum. Now it's time to go deeper. You've mastered execution. Now let's talk about the mental clarity that amplifies your results. Chapter 2. Cut through mental clutter. Your mind is noisy. Endless notifications. Constant opinions. Overthinking loops that never end. You check social media. You read articles that don't matter. You worry about what others think. You're drowning in information yet starving for clarity. That's the trap. That's the problem. The louder the noise, the harder it is to act. You have a choice. You can let the noise control you, or you can cut it. That's the key. Clarity doesn't come from doing more. It doesn't come from consuming more. Clarity comes from removal. Clarity comes from subtraction. Clarity comes from cutting out the unnecessary and focusing on what matters. Clarity comes from removal, not addition. Say it aloud. Memorize it. Breathe it in. Apply it relentlessly. Because if you don't remove the noise, you'll never act decisively. You'll never think clearly. You'll remain trapped in indecision. You have a choice. That's the key. First, identify the noise. What is clouding your mind? Is it endless scrolling through news feeds? Is it the need to respond to every opinion that lands in your inbox? Is it overthinking every minor decision, analyzing every what-if scenario? That's the noise, and it's killing your focus. You don't need all of it. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need to know everything. You only need what moves you forward. That's the filter. That's the test. That's the principle. Does this move me forward or is it distraction? Ask it constantly. Ask it relentlessly. Ask it until it becomes a habit. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's look at real-world examples. Warren Buffett is famous for saying, "The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything." Notice the power in saying no. Notice the focus it creates. Saying no removes the noise. Saying no clears your mind. Saying no allows action. You have a choice. You can say yes to every demand, every alert, every distraction. Or you can say no. That's the key. Now let's teach you the decision filter. Every time a thought, a task, a message, or an idea enters your mind, ask yourself, does this move me forward or is it a distraction? If it moves you forward, act immediately. If it's a distraction, eliminate it. Delete it. Ignore it. Move past it. Don't let it linger. Don't let it accumulate. Don't let it clutter your mental space. Repetition here is critical. Clarity comes from removal, not addition. Clarity comes from removal, not addition. Keep repeating it. Drill it into your mind. You have a choice. That's the key. Another layer of clutter is social opinion. Everyone has an opinion on what you should do, how you should live, or what's best for you. Listen if it adds value. Ignore if it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time it's noise. Most of the time, it's a trap that paralyzes decision-making. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You only need your clarity. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's simplify your daily choices. You don't need 10 options for breakfast. You don't need to agonize over minor clothing decisions. You don't need to overplan your entire day before starting. Simplify. Reduce. Eliminate. Make fewer decisions. Focus on the few that matter most. That's the practice of mental clarity. That's how high performers structure their lives. They don't waste mental energy on noise. They conserve it for decisive action. You have a choice. That's the key. Now let's address overthinking loops. You know the ones. The what if I fail? The what if I make the wrong choice? The endless cycle that leaves you frozen. Here's the truth. Overthinking does not prevent failure. Hesitation does not prevent mistakes. Action prevents regret. Decisive action prevents regret. That's the law. That's the rule. That's the principle. You have a choice. You can continue to spin in circles, or you can act. That's the key. Here's a practical exercise. Write down the 3 things in your life that are causing the most mental noise. Be honest. Be ruthless. Then ask the decision filter. Does this move me forward or is it a distraction? For each distraction, take immediate action to remove it. Unsubscribe. Delete. Delegate. Ignore. Remove. Notice the clarity that follows. Notice the energy that returns. Notice the decisiveness that emerges. You have a choice. That's the key. Remember, clarity is not passive. Clarity is not waiting for the fog to lift. Clarity is aggressive. Clarity is intentional. Clarity is a skill. It is cultivated. It is practiced. Every day. Every moment. You must fight for it. You must defend it. You must enforce it. Remove what doesn't matter. Focus on what does. That's the discipline. That's the principle. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's reinforce it one last time. Clarity comes from removal, not addition. Clarity comes from removal, not addition. Clarity comes from removal, not addition. Say it until your mind obeys. Apply it until your life reflects it. Because when the noise is gone, you think clearly. When you think clearly, you act decisively. When you act decisively, results are inevitable. You have a choice. That's the key. You've identified the noise. You've applied the decision filter. You've practiced removing distractions. Now your mind is sharper. Your focus is stronger. You're ready to act with precision. But mental clarity alone is not enough. Execution still matters. You've cleared the fog. Now let's focus that clarity into unstoppable action. Chapter 3. Focus like a laser. Focus is your most powerful tool. It is more valuable than talent. It is more valuable than motivation. Scattered energy wastes time. Scattered energy weakens outcomes. Scattered energy kills potential. Every distraction pulls your mind away from high-leverage action. Every interruption costs momentum. Every unfocused moment is a moment lost. You have a choice. You can remain scattered or you can focus. That's the key. Focus is not about doing more. Focus is about doing less, but doing it with intensity. The more you concentrate on what truly matters, the faster you produce results. The more you concentrate, the sharper your decisions become. The more you concentrate, the faster your momentum builds. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Say it aloud. Let it sink into your mind. Let it form a neurological pattern. Drill it until it becomes instinct. You have a choice. That's the key. Look at elite performers. Athletes, CEOs, world-class creators. They don't waste mental energy on noise. They identify the highest leverage action and prioritize it above all else. Michael Jordan didn't train for every skill equally. He focused relentlessly on perfecting his strengths. Jeff Bezos didn't chase every business opportunity. He focused on building Amazon's core engine. Elon Musk doesn't spread himself thin across dozens of projects at once. He zeroes in on the ones that matter most. That's the lesson. Focus produces results. Scattered effort produces nothing. You have a choice. That's the key. Now let's apply this practically. Ask yourself every morning, what is the one task, the one decision, the one action today that will move me closest to my goal? Write it down. Protect it. Execute it with intensity. Ignore everything else. Social media? Ignore it. Minor tasks? Ignore them. Busy work? Ignore it. That's the discipline of focus. That's the power of a laser-like mind. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Repeat it. Embed it in your daily routine. Distractions are everywhere. Emails pinging. Notifications buzzing. People demanding attention. Your mind pulls you in every direction. But discipline separates winners from the rest. Winners protect their focus. Winners guard it like a fortress. Winners know that scattered attention is wasted attention. That's the truth. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to please everyone. You don't need to know everything. You only need focus. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a practical drill. Set a timer for 60 minutes. Pick one task, one that is high leverage, one that truly matters, and work only on that. No phone, no social media, no interruptions, just the task. You will be amazed at the depth of results you can achieve when your mind is singularly concentrated. That's the power of focus. That's how elite performers dominate their fields. That's how momentum compounds. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. You have a choice. That's the key. Now let's talk about mental fatigue. Your brain is like a muscle. It grows stronger when exercised, weaker when overused or scattered. Multitasking is a myth. It drains your energy and destroys clarity. Single tasking builds power. Single tasking builds precision. Single tasking builds results. Train your brain to concentrate. Train your mind to ignore distractions. Train your focus like a weapon. You have a choice. That's the key. Focus is also about eliminating unnecessary choices. Every decision drains mental energy. If you spend your morning deciding what to wear, what to eat, what to check online, your mental bandwidth shrinks. Reduce choices. Simplify your life. Automate what you can. Make fewer decisions about trivial matters so your mind has energy for the decisions that truly matter. That's the discipline of focus. That's how champions operate. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's confront excuses. I'm too busy to focus. False. Everyone has the same 24 hours. I can't concentrate right now. False. Focus is a muscle. Train it. I have too many tasks. False. Prioritize. Identify the one high leverage action. Eliminate the rest. Every excuse is a distraction. Every excuse is a trap. Break the trap. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. You have a choice. That's the key. Now, combine focus with execution. Focus without action is just thinking. Action without focus is wasted effort. Together, they create unstoppable results. When you concentrate on what truly matters and act decisively, you move faster than your competition. You achieve more in a day than most people do in a week. You build momentum. You gain clarity. You dominate outcomes. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a mental exercise. Visualize your most important goal. Imagine yourself acting on it with total focus. Imagine distractions falling away. Imagine executing with precision, with intensity, with relentlessness. That is not fantasy. That is your potential. Focus makes it real. Execution makes it real. Repetition makes it real. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. Focus sharpens results. You have a choice. That's the key. You've now learned the power of laser focus. You understand that scattered energy is wasted energy. You know that single tasking, prioritization, and disciplined attention produce results that overwhelm talent alone. But focus alone is not enough. You need the mental framework to filter decisions and maintain clarity under pressure. You've prepared your mind for that. Now let's build the discipline to sustain it. Chapter 4. Discipline trumps motivation. Motivation is a spark. It flares, it excites, it inspires, but it fades. One day you feel unstoppable. The next you feel drained. One day you're ready to conquer the world. The next you struggle to get out of bed. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation is fleeting. Motivation cannot carry you to lasting success. That's the truth. You have a choice. You can wait for motivation, or you can build discipline. That's the key. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired, distracted, or uncertain. Discipline is action. Consistent action. Repeated daily. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. Motivation gives you a push. Discipline moves you across the finish line. Discipline trumps motivation. Every single time. Say it aloud. Discipline trumps motivation. Discipline trumps motivation. Let it sink in. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's the reality. High performers don't rely on feelings. They rely on systems. Systems are predictable. Systems are repeatable. Systems remove the chaos of relying on motivation. Morning routines. Micro goals. Accountability loops. These are the structures that enforce discipline. They remove decision fatigue. They create momentum. They make action inevitable. Discipline trumps motivation. Every single time. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's start with morning routines. Your first hour determines your entire day. Elite performers, athletes, CEOs, creators, use structured routines to prime their focus and energy. Meditation, exercise, planning, journaling, these are not optional. These are non-negotiable disciplines. They ensure your mind starts the day sharp, resilient, and unstoppable. You have a choice. You can start haphazardly, reacting to chaos, or you can act with structure. That's the key. Micro goals are another tool. Break your day into small, actionable steps. Don't aim for vague outcomes. Don't wait for big inspiration. Identify one small, decisive action. Complete it. Then the next. Then the next. Momentum builds. Confidence grows. Results compound. Discipline beats waiting for motivation. Every single time. Repeat it in your mind. Do it even when you don't want to. Do it even when you don't want to. Say it. Internalize it. Live it. That's the principle. You have a choice. That's the key. Accountability loops amplify discipline. Tell someone your goal. Track your progress publicly or privately. Measure your actions. Review your performance. Feedback creates pressure. Pressure reinforces consistency. High performers thrive on accountability. They know that without it, discipline fades. You have a choice. You can hide. You can skip. You can excuse yourself. Or you can create accountability that enforces action. That's the key. Now let's confront excuses. I'm too tired. Do it anyway. I don't feel like it. Do it anyway. I'll start tomorrow. Do it today. Repetition is essential. Do it even when you don't want to. Do it even when you don't want to. Every moment you defer action, momentum dies. Every delay reinforces weakness. Every hesitation reinforces the habit of inaction. Discipline is choosing action in spite of resistance. That's the principle. That's the difference between average and extraordinary. You have a choice. That's the key. Discipline also builds mental resilience. When you act despite resistance, your mind grows stronger. When you act despite discomfort, your willpower compounds. Every time you follow through, you reinforce the neural pattern of consistency. This makes future action easier. Motivation cannot do this. Motivation fades. Discipline builds unshakable strength. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's put it into practice. Identify one area of your life where motivation fails you. Work, health, relationships. Pick one. Establish a system, a small morning or evening ritual, a micro goal, or an accountability check. Commit to executing it daily for 30 days. No excuses, no exceptions. Track it, review it, repeat it. Momentum will build. Discipline will grow. Action will become instinct. Do it even when you don't want to. Do it even when you don't want to. Say it, feel it, live it. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's the truth few admit. Talent alone is meaningless without discipline. Creativity alone is wasted without execution. Ambition alone is hollow without follow-through. Motivation gives you an initial spark. Discipline sustains the flame. Discipline builds results. Discipline trumps motivation. Every single time. You have a choice. That's the key. Now consider this. Life will test you. Obstacles, fatigue, distractions, doubts, they will come. Motivation will vanish in those moments. Only discipline carries you through. Only discipline ensures consistency. Only discipline produces results while the rest are waiting for inspiration to strike. Build it, protect it, execute it, repeat it daily. Do it even when you don't want to. Do it even when you don't want to. You have a choice. That's the key. You've now learned the foundation of discipline. You understand why motivation is unreliable. You've seen the power of systems, morning routines, micro goals, and accountability loops. You've practiced the mantra. You've built the mental muscle. But discipline alone isn't enough. You need clarity to apply it effectively. You need focus to direct it where it counts. You've built the engine. Now it's time to steer it. Chapter 5. Decide before you feel ready. Waiting. Hesitating. Thinking you need perfect clarity before making a move. That is the trap. That is the illusion. You think more information, more analysis, more planning will make your decisions safer, smarter, better. But it won't. Waiting for certainty kills momentum. Waiting for clarity kills opportunities. Waiting for the right time is a trap that keeps most people stuck, stagnant, and frustrated. You have a choice. You can wait or you can act. That's the key. Decisive action is the antidote to uncertainty. It is the weapon against indecision. It is the engine that creates clarity. The paradox is this: clarity does not come before action. Clarity comes through action. Decision creates direction. Decide now. Say it aloud. Clarity comes through action. Decision creates direction. Decide now. Repeat it. Drill it into your mind. Internalize it. Live it. You have a choice. That's the key. Look at military training. Soldiers in combat do not wait for perfect intelligence. They cannot afford to hesitate. Decisions must be made in seconds. Mistakes will happen. Some will fail. But the act of deciding and acting creates clarity in the chaos. The mind learns. The strategy adjusts. Direction emerges. Those who wait too long, who hesitate, are left behind. This is the law of decisive action. You have a choice. That's the key. Consider startup founders. Markets shift in hours. Competitors move fast. Waiting for perfect certainty means missed opportunities, lost capital, and sometimes total failure. Entrepreneurs who pivot immediately, who act decisively on incomplete information, survive and thrive. Execution clarifies strategy. Action refines decisions. Hesitation kills growth. That's the lesson. Decision before readiness creates results. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a practical approach. The 2-minute decision rule. When faced with a choice, give yourself no more than 2 minutes to decide. Pick an option. Observe the results. Adjust if necessary. Stop overthinking. Stop second-guessing. Stop waiting for certainty. Action produces clarity. Action creates feedback. Action defines direction. Clarity comes through action. Decision creates direction. Decide now. Repeat it. Repeat it. Repeat it. You have a choice. That's the key. Fear masquerades as hesitation. You fear failure, criticism, or making the wrong choice. That fear paralyzes millions. But here's the truth. Inaction guarantees failure. Indecision guarantees stagnation. You don't need to be fearless. You need to act despite fear. You need to make the choice even when your stomach twists. You need to move forward before you feel ready. Every step you take in uncertainty builds courage. Every decision you act on strengthens confidence. Every choice you make creates momentum. You have a choice. That's the key. Decisive action also eliminates regret. Think about people who waited too long. The job they didn't apply for, the call they didn't make, the investment they didn't take. What haunts them is not failure. It's the what-ifs, the indecision, the hesitation. Making a decision, even an imperfect one, is far better than inaction. Imperfect action beats perfect procrastination. Every single time. Clarity comes through action. Decision creates direction. Decide now. Say it. Believe it. Live it. You have a choice. That's the key. Now let's talk about preparation. You are not acting blindly. You prepare. You analyze. You study. But once the information is sufficient, not perfect, you act. That's the balance. Analysis without execution is paralysis. Execution without analysis is recklessness. Combine them intelligently. Prepare adequately but act decisively. Timing is critical. Momentum is critical. Hesitation is fatal. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's give you a mental exercise. Identify one decision you've been postponing. Could be personal, professional, or financial. Set a timer. Give yourself 2 minutes to decide. Decide. Commit. Act immediately. Observe the outcome. Adjust if necessary. Learn from the action, not from the delay. Clarity comes through action. Decision creates direction. Decide now. Repeat it daily. Make it instinct. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's the truth few acknowledge. Waiting for certainty is cowardice disguised as prudence. Waiting for the perfect moment is an excuse to avoid responsibility. The perfect moment rarely exists. Opportunity favors the bold. Action favors the decisive. Hesitation leaves you behind. Momentum belongs to those who act first. Clarity emerges from motion. Confusion disappears when choices are made. You have a choice. That's the key. Now let's reinforce this with repetition. Clarity comes through action. Decision creates direction. Decide now. Clarity comes through action. Decision creates direction. Decide now. Drill it into your mind. Let it echo in your decisions. Let it dictate your actions. Make decisive action your habit. Make it your identity. Make it non-negotiable. You have a choice. That's the key. You've now learned the power of decisive action. You understand that waiting for clarity is a trap. You've seen the examples of soldiers, entrepreneurs, and high performers who act before they feel ready. You've practiced mental exercises to reinforce it. But action alone is not enough. You need discipline to sustain it. You need focus to direct it. You need systems to ensure it repeats. You've started the engine. Now let's maintain it. Chapter 6. Embrace the cost of choice. Every choice has a price. Every action comes with trade-offs. Every yes you give is a no to something else. Most people ignore this truth. They say yes to everything. They chase every opportunity. They try to please everyone. And in the process they dilute their focus. They scatter their energy. They slow their progress. You have a choice. You can continue saying yes to everything. Or you can embrace the cost of choice. That's the key. Success demands prioritization. Success demands sacrifice. You cannot have it all at the same time. Not now. Not today. Not without discipline. Every high performer understands this. Every high achiever lives by this principle. Warren Buffett doesn't invest in every stock. Jeff Bezos doesn't pursue every business idea. Serena Williams doesn't play every tournament. They say no again and again to protect their focus, to guard their energy, to amplify their results. Every yes is a no to something else. Choose wisely. Choose decisively. Repeat it. Let it become instinct. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's break it down further. When you commit to one high-leverage action, you automatically exclude lesser tasks. That exclusion is not failure. That exclusion is strategy. That exclusion is clarity. Saying no creates room for yes. Saying no creates time for execution. Saying no creates energy for impact. You have a choice. You can scatter your attention, or you can concentrate your force. That's the key. Here's a practical exercise. Write down the top 3 priorities in your life. Then write everything else you are saying yes to. Now, for each non-essential yes, ask yourself, does this support my top priorities or does it dilute them? If it dilutes, eliminate it. Delete it. Delegate it. Ignore it. Protect your top priorities like a fortress. That's the discipline of choice. That's how winners operate. Every yes is a no to something else. Choose wisely. Choose decisively. Repeat it daily. You have a choice. That's the key. Sacrifice is not punishment. Sacrifice is investment. Sacrifice is the currency of results. You sacrifice distractions, time-wasting activities, unnecessary obligations, and the pursuit of approval. In return, you gain focus, momentum, and clarity. In return, you gain results. In return, you gain freedom to act decisively on what truly matters. Every yes is a no to something else. Choose wisely. Choose decisively. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. You have a choice. That's the key. Now, let's confront common excuses. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. False. Protecting your focus is not cruelty, it's strategy. I don't want to miss opportunities. False. Only the opportunities aligned with your priorities matter. I don't want to disappoint people. False. You cannot serve everyone. You can only serve your mission. Every yes comes at a cost. Every yes excludes another possibility. Every yes requires wisdom. Every yes requires decisiveness. You have a choice. That's the key. High performers say no consistently. They guard their calendars, their energy, and their mental space. They understand that distraction is the silent killer of results. They understand that indecision and scattered effort lead to mediocrity. They protect their priorities relentlessly. They embrace the cost of choice. That's the principle. That's the strategy. That's how clarity leads to execution. Every yes is a no to something else. Choose wisely. Choose decisively. Repeat it daily. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's another way to apply this. When a new opportunity appears, don't react immediately. Pause. Evaluate. Ask yourself, does this move me closer to my highest priorities or does it pull me away? If it moves you closer, act decisively. If it pulls you away, decline confidently. Every decision, every yes, every action shapes your results. Every choice defines your future. Every decision carries a cost. Every decision demands awareness. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's reinforce it one more time. Say it aloud. Say it to yourself in the mirror. Every yes is a no to something else. Choose wisely. Choose decisively. Every yes is a no to something else. Choose wisely. Choose decisively. Let it echo in your mind. Let it dictate your decisions. Let it protect your focus. Let it create momentum. Let it build results. You have a choice. That's the key. You've now learned the power of prioritization. You've seen the necessity of saying no. You've understood that sacrifice is not loss, it is leverage. You've practiced filtering choices, protecting focus, and acting decisively. But choices alone are not enough. You need the confidence to trust your decisions. You need the courage to act on them consistently. You've mastered the cost of choice. Now let's strengthen your inner authority. Chapter 7. Trust your inner authority. Most people live their lives seeking permission. They ask for approval before making a decision. They wait for validation before taking action. They consult everyone except themselves. And in the process, they lose clarity. They lose momentum. They lose confidence. External validation clouds judgment. It clouds priorities. It clouds execution. You have a choice. You can continue to live for the opinions of others, or you can trust your own mind. That's the key. Your mind knows more than you think. Your instincts are sharper than you give them credit for. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need consensus. You don't need validation. Your mind is your compass. Your intuition is your guide. Your judgment is your authority. Your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Repeat it. Say it aloud. Memorize it. Live it. You have a choice. That's the key. Look at entrepreneurs who ignored conventional advice and succeeded. Steve Jobs didn't follow market trends. He followed his instincts. Elon Musk pursued ventures everyone called impossible. Sarah Blakely risked everything to launch Spanx against a sea of skepticism. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't defer to popular opinion. They trusted their inner authority. They acted. They executed. They won. That's the lesson your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. You have a choice. That's the key. External opinions will always exist. Friends, family, colleagues, social media critics. Everyone has advice. Everyone has feedback. But most of it is noise. Most of it dilutes focus. Most of it creates doubt. You must filter it. Use advice only if it aligns with your priorities. Discard what doesn't. Protect your judgment. Protect your mental space. Protect your inner authority. Your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Repeat it constantly. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a practical method. Before making any decision, pause. Quiet your mind. Listen. Ask yourself, what feels right? What aligns with my goals? What moves me forward? Trust that initial instinct. Don't overanalyze. Don't seek validation. Act on it. Every decision you make by trusting your inner authority strengthens it. Every time you defer to someone else, you weaken it. Discipline your mind to trust itself. That's how clarity becomes action. That's how action produces results. You have a choice. That's the key. Fear will try to stop you. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of being wrong. But fear is irrelevant when your inner authority is strong. Fear exists to test your resolve. Fear exists to challenge your courage. Fear exists to see if you will obey your mind or obey the world. Choose your mind. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Say it aloud. Let it anchor your decisions. Let it guide your execution. You have a choice. That's the key. Now let's confront indecision. Many people hesitate because they want reassurance. They wait for someone else to give them confidence. That's a trap. Confidence comes from trusting yourself. Confidence comes from acting on your judgment. Confidence comes from following your inner authority. Every time you act without waiting for external approval, your confidence grows. Every time you defer to others, your confidence diminishes. Your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Repeat it. Embed it. Live it. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a mental exercise. Identify one decision you've been delaying because you're seeking approval. Write it down. Ask yourself, what does my mind tell me? Pause. Listen. Decide. Execute. Observe the results. Adjust if necessary. Every time you do this, you strengthen your inner authority. Every time you act independently, momentum builds. Every time you trust your mind, clarity follows. You have a choice. That's the key. High performers develop an internal feedback loop. They make decisions. They observe outcomes. They adjust. They refine. They don't wait for applause. They don't wait for approval. They don't wait for agreement. They act, they learn, they improve, they win. You can do the same. Trust your mind. Follow it. Act on it. Your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Say it. Live it. Repeat it. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's reinforce it one last time. Your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Your mind knows. Trust it. Follow it. Act on it. Let this mantra anchor your decisions. Let it guide your actions. Let it protect your focus. Let it create momentum. Every decision made from inner authority compounds over time into unstoppable results. You have a choice. That's the key. You've now learned to trust yourself. You've seen the power of inner authority. You've practiced listening, deciding, and acting independently. But even a trusted mind can be slowed without courage. You need to transform fear into fuel. You've trusted your authority. Now let's master fear. Chapter 8. Convert fear into fuel. Fear. It's natural. It's uncomfortable. It's unavoidable. Most people treat it like a warning sign to stop, retreat, or wait. But that is a misconception. Fear is not a signal of danger. It is a signal of growth. Fear appears when you are about to push beyond your comfort zone. Fear appears when you are on the verge of something meaningful. Fear appears when you are about to level up. You have a choice. You can let fear paralyze you, or you can use it as fuel. That's the key. Decisive action is the antidote to fear. Fear without action grows. Fear without execution consumes energy. Fear with action transforms energy. When you take bold steps despite fear, your anxiety converts into momentum. Your uncertainty converts into clarity. Your hesitation converts into power. Fear is a signal. Fear is a signal. Take action anyway. Say it aloud. Repeat it. Embed it in your mind. You have a choice. That's the key. Look at high-stakes investors. They face uncertainty, volatility, and risk daily. Fear appears before every major decision. The ones who succeed don't freeze. They act decisively. They analyze, prepare, and execute. They leverage fear to focus, to sharpen instincts, and to make moves others won't. Fear becomes an ally, not an obstacle. That's the lesson. Use fear as fuel. You have a choice. That's the key. Athletes provide another example. Michael Phelps before the Olympics. Serena Williams before a championship match. Every moment of fear, every pre-competition anxiety spike, was a signal. It told them the stakes were high. It told them the moment mattered. And they acted anyway. They transformed fear into focus. They transformed fear into precision. They transformed fear into dominance. Fear is a signal. Fear is a signal. Take action anyway. Repeat it. Internalize it. Live it. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a practical exercise. Identify one fear you are avoiding. It could be a public presentation, a difficult conversation, or a career risk. Name it. Acknowledge it. Then take one small action immediately toward it. Do not wait to feel ready. Do not wait to feel confident. Take the action anyway. Observe the energy shift. Notice how fear transforms into momentum when met with courage. Fear is a signal. Fear is a signal. Take action anyway. Say it aloud. Live it. Repeat it. You have a choice. That's the key. Fear often disguises itself as excuses. I'm not prepared enough. False. I don't have enough time. False. I might fail. False. Fear's voice is loudest when it wants to prevent growth. Listen to it, but do not obey it. Acknowledge it, but do not let it dictate your choices. Action converts fear into fuel. Momentum converts anxiety into clarity. Decisive steps convert hesitation into power. Fear is a signal. Fear is a signal. Take action anyway. You have a choice. That's the key. Now consider repetition as a tool. Every time you face fear and act anyway, you reinforce a neurological pattern. Your brain learns, fear does not stop me. Fear does not control me. Fear signals opportunity. Fear signals growth. With repetition, fear becomes a trigger for action instead of paralysis. Every step you take under fear compounds over time into confidence, momentum, and results. Fear is a signal. Fear is a signal. Take action anyway. Repeat it. Live it. Internalize it. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's break down the mental framework. When fear arises, pause briefly. Label it. Say, this is fear, not danger. This is growth, not threat. Then act. The combination of awareness and immediate action transforms fear into an advantage. This is how high performers, elite investors, and top athletes operate. They don't eliminate fear, they harness it. They don't avoid risk, they calculate it. They don't retreat, they advance. Fear becomes fuel. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's another exercise. Next time fear appears, physically move. Take a step forward. Make a phone call. Speak up. Execute one action that aligns with your goal. That small action triggers momentum, rewires your response to fear, and reinforces courage. Repetition makes it instinct. Action transforms fear into energy. Momentum compounds results. Fear is a signal. Fear is a signal. Take action anyway. Repeat it until it becomes your habit. You have a choice. That's the key. High performers embrace fear because they understand its value. Fear marks moments of growth, opportunities of transformation, and thresholds of achievement. Fear is a teacher, a compass, a catalyst. When acted upon, fear powers progress. When ignored, fear destroys momentum. When respected but obeyed, fear becomes fuel. Fear is a signal. Fear is a signal. Take action anyway. Say it aloud. Live it. Apply it relentlessly. You have a choice. That's the key. You've now learned the secret. Fear signals growth, not danger. Decisive action converts anxiety into energy. You've seen examples in investors, athletes, and elite performers. You've practiced exercises to harness fear. But even fuel needs direction. Fear alone cannot carry momentum. You need clarity, focus, and purpose to channel it. You've converted fear into fuel. Now let's transform that energy into unstoppable momentum. Chapter 9. Build momentum through micro-decisions. Momentum is not a single explosion. Momentum is not a sudden surge. Momentum is the result of consistent, small actions repeated over time. Every big breakthrough, every massive result, every life-changing achievement stems from small wins compounded relentlessly. The secret is micro-decisions. The secret is daily discipline. The secret is execution, one step at a time. You have a choice. You can wait for a big breakthrough, or you can start building momentum now. That's the key. Big results do not appear overnight. They appear from daily, consistent choices. One decision to focus. One decision to act. One decision to refuse distraction. Every decision is a seed. Every decision compounds. Every decision creates momentum. You repeat the process day after day, and suddenly what seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Small actions. Daily decisions. Massive results. Say it aloud. Repeat it. Embed it in your mind. You have a choice. That's the key. Look at elite performers. Athletes, CEOs, and creators don't rely on singular moments of genius. They rely on habits. They rely on daily, micro-decisions executed with precision. Michael Jordan took thousands of shots daily, not just during games. Jeff Bezos made hundreds of small operational decisions that compounded into Amazon's empire. Serena Williams made thousands of split-second choices during every practice session and match. That's how mastery is built. One choice at a time. One small action at a time. Small actions. Daily decisions. Massive results. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's apply this practically. Break your day into decisions that matter. What is the one task you can do now that contributes directly to your goal? Execute it immediately. Then identify the next. Then the next. Stop overthinking. Stop waiting for inspiration. Stop looking for the perfect strategy. The cumulative effect of these micro-decisions compounds. Momentum builds quietly. Confidence grows silently. Clarity strengthens with every choice. Small actions. Daily decisions. Massive results. Repeat it. Live it. Internalize it. You have a choice. That's the key. Micro-decisions are also about eliminating what doesn't serve you. Every choice you make to ignore distraction, skip low-value tasks, or refuse noise is a micro-win. Every choice to focus on the essential, to act decisively, to honor your priorities compounds into momentum. Momentum is not flashy. It is silent. It is consistent. It is relentless. High performers understand this. That's why they win over time. Small actions. Daily decisions. Massive results. Say it. Believe it. Live it. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a practical exercise. Identify one area of your life where you want progress. Break it into the smallest possible actions. One phone call, one email, one task, one habit. Commit to completing at least one micro-decision daily. Then add another, then another. Watch momentum grow. Watch clarity sharpen. Watch results accumulate. Small actions, daily decisions, massive results. Repeat it until it becomes instinct. You have a choice. That's the key. Fear of failure often stops micro-decisions. People wait for certainty, for perfect conditions, or for big ideas. That's the trap. Every micro-decision you take in the face of uncertainty builds momentum and compounds into progress. Every hesitation slows you down. Every delay weakens your trajectory. Action, no matter how small, creates movement. Momentum favors the decisive, the consistent, the relentless. Small actions, daily decisions, massive results. You have a choice. That's the key. Consistency is the multiplier. One decision repeated once has limited impact. One decision repeated daily, week after week, month after month, compounds exponentially. The results surprise even the doer. They accumulate silently until they can no longer be ignored. Small actions become habits. Habits become systems. Systems produce extraordinary outcomes. Micro-decisions are the engine of long-term success. Small actions, daily decisions, massive results. Repeat, repeat, repeat. You have a choice. That's the key. High performers rely on repetition. They don't chase motivation. They rely on systems of micro-decisions. Every choice to act, every choice to focus, every choice to prioritize compounds into momentum that is unstoppable. Every small win builds confidence. Every small win fuels clarity. Every small win compounds into mastery. That's the silent power of daily decisions. Small actions, daily decisions, massive results. Say it, live it, repeat it. You have a choice. That's the key. You've now learned the power of micro-decisions. You've seen how consistent, small actions compound into momentum. You've practiced breaking tasks into actionable steps. You've reinforced the mantra. But even momentum needs direction to create lasting results. Momentum alone without focus or purpose can scatter. You've built the engine. Now let's focus it silently for maximum impact. Chapter 10. Make decisions that define your life. Your life is the sum of your decisions. Every choice you make builds the architecture of your destiny. Every yes, every no, every action shapes the life you live. Indecision is the silent thief of potential. It steals time, momentum, and opportunity. It erodes clarity. It leaves you stagnant while others move ahead. You have a choice. You can wait for the perfect moment, or you can decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. That's the key. Life-altering choices aren't always obvious. Career moves, health commitments, relationships, investments, they require decisiveness. Timid thinking leads to regret. Hesitation leads to missed opportunities. But decisive action creates outcomes. It transforms uncertainty into results. It converts risk into progress. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary lives is simple. Decision. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. Say it aloud. Drill it into your mind. You have a choice. That's the key. Look at high achievers. Elon Musk deciding to start Tesla. Oprah Winfrey deciding to leave her job and build her empire. Serena Williams choosing to train relentlessly for decades. These were not small, comfortable decisions. They carried risk. They carried fear. They carried sacrifice. But decisive action defined their lives. The moment they decided, everything aligned. Momentum compounded. Fear transformed into focus. Doubt dissolved into clarity. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's the principle. Clarity comes from decision, not waiting. Action creates direction. Hesitation destroys it. Every time you delay, indecision compounds. Every moment of inaction builds regret. Every yes left unspoken, Every risk left untaken, every choice deferred shapes a life of mediocrity. Break the cycle. Commit to decisive action. Build the habit. Make choices quickly. Execute relentlessly. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. Repeat it. Live it. Own it. You have a choice. That's the key. Practical exercise. Identify one major area of your life where indecision dominates. Career, health, relationships, finances. Write down the decision you've been avoiding. Set a time limit. Decide now. Choose boldly. Commit fully. Act immediately. Observe the momentum that follows. Notice how clarity emerges when you act decisively. Your life will begin to shift the moment you refuse to defer. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. You have a choice. That's the key. Fear and doubt will appear. They always do. That's normal. The difference is how you respond. Do not let fear stop you. Do not let uncertainty paralyze you. Do not wait for approval or permission. Act in spite of the fear. Act in spite of doubt. Every decisive action builds confidence. Every decisive action builds momentum. Every decisive action rewires your life for results. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. Repeat it aloud. Internalize it. Live it. You have a choice. That's the key. High performers understand one fundamental truth. Indecision is the enemy of achievement. Action is the currency of results. Momentum is built on consistent, bold decisions. Fear and uncertainty are natural, but they are not obstacles. They are signals. Signals to act. Signals to grow. Signals to transform. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. Say it. Believe it. Live it. You have a choice. That's the key. Here's a final exercise to cement this principle. Review your life today. Identify one decision that, if made immediately, would have the greatest positive impact. Commit to it. Execute it today. No excuses. No delays. Feel the shift as momentum takes hold. This is how life-changing decisions are made. Small actions build momentum. Bold actions define destiny. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. You have a choice. That's the key. You've now learned the ultimate lesson. Decisions shape destiny. Indecision robs potential. Fear is a signal, not a barrier. Focus, discipline, and decisive action are your tools. Micro-decisions compound into massive results. Momentum emerges silently. Clarity comes through action. Your life depends on the choices you make today. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. And here's one final note for you as a listener. The moment you commit to decisive action, everything changes. Momentum builds. Confidence grows. Clarity sharpens. And results follow. Apply these principles daily. Protect your focus. Harness fear. Trust your inner authority. Act with discipline. Take small, relentless steps. Make your decisions count. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it. If you found this audiobook transformative, subscribe to the channel now. Hit the bell so you never miss content that trains your mind, sharpens your focus, and transforms your life. Commit to your growth. Start today. Decide now. Decide boldly. Decide relentlessly. Your life depends on it.